All right, so this is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court on October 7th, 2020. In compliance with the Texas Supreme Court emergency order related to coronavirus number 25, we're not conducting in-person court proceedings. We are doing this remotely through Zoom. However, in order to comply with the Texas Constitution, Article 1, Section 13, also known as the Open Courts Act, in order to give public access to the court proceedings to see what we do here, these proceedings are being broadcast on YouTube. No portion of this court proceeding may be recorded, copied, or published. Violations of this order are punishable by contempt of court of up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. All right, so let's see, we're gonna go ahead. I know, Sheriff, you've got Mr. Demerson there. Mr. Demerson, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I need to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right, Ms. Ortega. I'm going to ask you to please stay still. It's very distracting to have movement in your background. So you do have, and Brittany Hemphill, please do not have the camera pointed at the ceiling of your vehicle. That's also very distracting. This is still a court proceeding, everyone. All right, so Mr. Demerson, you do have a right to remain silent, but if you give up the right, anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. And you do have a right to an attorney. Ms. YYYYY has been appointed as your attorney. Rita, are you here?
Yes, Your Honor. Can you see me?
Yes. All right, Mr. Demerson, can you see your attorney?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, Mr. Demerson, you're 17. I'm holding you downtown in the county jail because you are 17 years old. All right, and I appreciate the sheriff for bringing you here. All right, so Mr. Demerson, this is back in February. You were referred for a warrant for robbery from back in January. A victim said that he was riding his bike through Hallmark Baptist Church when he stopped to watch the baseball practice. Then he said you came up and your companion both threatened to jump him if you didn't give you his money. So he was afraid, so he gave you $28 and left the location. They both knew you. He said you had done something similar like this to him before on July 13th of 2019, where you had a robbery charge for that. So given a photo lineup, you were picked out. In March, we released you on electronic monitor to attend your grandmother's funeral. And then in May, you cut off your electronic monitor, and so we issued a warrant. Then in September, Fort Worth PD referred you. They're saying June 27th at around 1:30 in the afternoon. Victim said that you approached him in the Walgreens over on South Hewlin. They said you told him you were going to rob him and that you lifted up your front gray hoodie and exposed a gun, gave you $16, and you said that wasn't enough. So they walked over to the 7-Eleven and he said you threatened to shoot him if he ran. So you were standing next to him when he got $100 from his ATM. He gave you the money and then you both left the store. Surveillance videos matched from you from Walmart and the 7-Eleven. So you had a robbery case, which you're on probation for. I picked up an aggravated robbery case, used a weapon. All right, so Mr. Demerson, I feel like if I was to release you, you'd be a danger to yourself and the community. And so I'm gonna go ahead and keep you detained here. You will see a judge within 10 days. Ms. YYYYY, what's the progress on this case? This is it's not old yet, but it's kind of going down that road. Do we have any kind of resolution coming up?
No, Your Honor. Right now, we don't have the states have filed their petition, but my clients have pending adult court. So,
is an adult case too?
Yes.
Judge,
okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but just to make the court aware, and Officer Houston refers to it in that last paragraph, he was just indicted on EOC ag robbery downtown and has a misdemeanor evading too.
Judge, you're on mute.
All right, thank you. I don't know how that happened. All right, Mr. Demerson, it looks like you kind of got yourself in a pickle, but what I can say is just do the best you can. The number one rule to life when you dug yourself into a hole is to stop digging. All right, so, all right, Mr. Demerson, well, good luck to your cases. I think the adult case is probably the one that's driving a lot more. If it's an aggravated robbery or the EOC, Mr. Blumberg, what's the level of offense for his EOC case? Do we know?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a first degree, EOC ag robbery, underlying ag robbery. So it's first degree.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Dempsey, you understand that you are looking at 5 to 99 or life in prison for your adult case. The juvenile case is potentially up to 40 years.
Judge, sorry to interrupt on that. It's a minimum 15 when it's an EOC. Bumps that ag robbery up.
You are correct. Thank you, Mr. Bromberg. The details. Forgot about that. Yeah. So it's from 15 to 99 years or life in prison for the aggravated robbery. So the juvenile cases are not your worry. I encourage you to be forthcoming and help your attorney help you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Demerson. Sheriff, thank you very much for bringing this juvenile to this meeting. We appreciate you.
Yes, Your Honor, one more thing, please. Mom is here because I believe this case is also set for show cause hearing. That's what Officer Heaton has advised, that I think she completed the paperwork. So that, I mean, I've been appointed on this case for a while now, so I'm not sure about that. Could you, Your Honor, please look at that?
Yeah, Mr. Houston, can you get that the request for attorney paperwork to Judge Terry and have her look over that and make a determination on whether her indigency?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Houston.
Right.
Thank you, Mr.
Houston. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Sheriff. All right. So Jeremiah Colon.
Maria, do we have CPS here?
Yes, she's here. Lauren, Simon.
Oh, yeah, I see her. Okay.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Colon. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent, and you have a right to an attorney. Right? Ms. Keenan is here. Ms. Keenan, just so your screen pops up, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, Jeremiah, do you see me? I'm right here. Okay.
Great. All right. So Jeremiah, you're 14 years old, and let's see, you received deferred prosecution for an aggravated assault of a family member. And oh, is this the one that we talked about, Ms. Keenan? Earlier?
It is, Your Honor. Yes, this is the one that we have the status conference on,
Sure.
and he has a
Jeremiah,
evaluation on there.
You're scheduled for evaluation on Sunday, so I'm not going to release you on Sunday. All right.
Yes,
I'm not going to release you today, but I am open to the idea of releasing you to the department. So, Ms. Simeon, are y'all going to have a placement for him on Monday for us to release him to you, or Sunday?
I was just aware that he may be released right after the evaluation. We don't have an appropriate placement for him at this time.
All right. So, Ms. Simeon, we kind of warned you that this would be coming when the evaluation is done, that CPS needs to take possession of him, right? This was several weeks ago.
Right, and so the placement department has received all of his information to locate placement, but we were told that I thought we needed the results for the psychosexual for placement, but I can go and contact them and see if we can find a placement by the 12th.
Okay, so the results here have nothing to do with CPS. It's
Your
purely...
Honor, I'm the Lauren's supervisor. Can I add something?
Sure.
So part of the problem is that intake had been searching for placement for Jeremiah. The problem is that a lot of the facilities are wanting to review his evaluation to see if they can meet his needs. Okay. And so that's part of the issue of why we haven't been able to secure anything yet.
Okay, so you're seeing my frustration.
Yeah.
Our juvenile detention facility is not an RTC. It's not a place to hold a kid just to figure out what to do with a kid. Like that's not what this environment's for. So like we really need to do something as far as where we're gonna place Jeremiah, because we can't just sit here and wait. I mean, the department has asked, and a court has granted possession of this child, right? I mean, right now he's in temporary, y'all are temporary managing?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously, there was reason for the court or a court to grant y'all temporary managing conservatorship. So that kind of incurs a responsibility on the state's part to provide for the child, right? So like, where do we, and like, where do we go from here? Like, we can't, I'm not inclined just to hold them just because we're going to wait for a place to go through their process and evaluate whether they want them or not. Like, what is CPS equipped to handle right now for a child in this situation that's released?
Well, I know that per intake, they had told us that when, you know, kids with his needs and history, there are certain placements that do take them, but again, they need a copy of his evaluation, which obviously we, you know, don't have. It's a newer case. In the meantime, though, when there have been other children that we have not been able to get a placement to agree to take them, we've been housing them at one of our homes, and like we have a home for those needs, and staff literally will sign up to like watch them until we secure a placement.
Right.
So it's like a last.
Sure. And I don't want to do that, but I need what I need. Okay. I don't want to do that, but I guess I will do that if we have to. So how much time do y'all need? I mean, legitimately, like, let's give me a reasonable number, and I want to work with the department, but it has to be reasonable.
Is there any estimate on how long we would get a report from the time it's completed?
I do have a date on that. I have the 19th of October when the report is supposed to be due back.
Okay.
We're talking, if the report comes back on the 19th and y'all need, you know, a week to decide which facilities want to accept them after getting the report to them, now we're looking at almost 3 weeks. I'm not okay with keeping him in here for 3 weeks just to look for a placement. Right. So I kind of need to know a plan, because if it's going to be 3 weeks or Monday, I would just as soon say Monday, because whatever emergency placement that y'all have will be better than our detention facility. Okay. So
is there any way we would be able to do like 2 weeks from today? Because if the report's back by the 19th, that at least gives us 2 days to find something that we know can meet, you know, the needs that are identified in his evaluation.
So I'll tell you what, we'll do, you only come and pick them up on 9 o'clock on the 21st. Okay.
Okay.
And that gives you, that way we will not have another 10-day hearing. Jeremiah, as long as you get to the 21st, stay level 1.0, because I'm glad you are, right? And show that, because here's what happens. If you drop in your levels, that changes the game and what CPS is doing, because when you have behavior problems here, so the thing is, CPS can't hit a moving target, right? I mean, you got to give them a good target to hit. That way they can find a place for you. If your behavior level drops and other issues pop up, then whatever placement they've been fighting to find you may drop off. Be like, wait, we don't want this kid anymore because he's causing problems. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'm trying to do, and I hope you understand, I'm doing my best to get you out of here. I do not want to keep you here. I'm going to keep you here until the study, the evaluation, but after that, I don't want to. But the difference between is staying here or maybe sleeping on a floor in an office. Okay. And I don't want that either. Okay. So I'm setting a hard limit. You can tell by Ms. Garcia's face and Ms. Simeon's face, they're not very happy with me right now, right? Because I'm really cutting them short, but I'm doing this for you. Okay. I'm trying to look out for you, and I'm trying to find that middle ground where it's fair to you, but it's also fair to them. So I know part of being a judge, you're not happy with my decision, and Ms. Garcia is not happy with my decision, and I just managed to make everyone unhappy. But that's kind of part of the job. All right. So Ms. Garcia, I think the 21st was very reasonable. I'm kind of setting the limit of, I don't want to get to I do not want to have another 10-day hearing with Mr. Colon. Okay.
Okay.
That's kind of my outside limit. Ms. Perkins.
Yes,
I know it's not what you want, but sounds reasonable.
it's reasonable, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Garcia, thank you for coming up with that. I think this is something that we can all work with. All right. So that being said, Jeremiah, keep your behavior at level 1.0, and you will be out 9 o'clock in the morning on the 21st of October. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then Ms. Rojas, can we make sure we get, you have Ms. Simeon's information?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I want to make sure she gets the report on the valuation as soon as you get it.
Okay.
And Ms. Perkins probably wants it too.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Maria Mendez. All right. So, Ms. Mendez, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days and have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. In the interim, we've appointed Mr. Beaver as your attorney today. See, you're 16 years old. Currently, you are on supervision. You're on probation for assault, family violence. That's supposed to expire in January. I guess it got extended out for violating your probation. So let's see, you have a runaway back in June. Let's see, and we gave you a drug test yesterday when you came in. You're positive for marijuana while you're on probation. So, all right, so let's see, DeSoto PD brought you in. We had a warrant for you from July because you ran away. It's hard to supervise you on probation when you run away. You understand, when you say you want probation, what you're telling the court is give me this one chance. Let me follow the rules, and you don't have to send me to placement. You don't have to send me to TJGD. Just give me a chance to do what I'm supposed to do. This is your chance. And when you run away and don't report, that tells me that probation is not good for you. All right, so this is June. This is also, okay, this is the one with the motel in Duncanville. All right. All this. Yeah, and so there's a history of running away. See, in June. See. Mom says 4-1 has been very helpful. All right. So yesterday, Ms. Ortega called us, said that the police had picked you up, and you gave the name Jessica to the police. And Mom described the tattoos on your arm, so the DeSoto police brought you over here. This your runaway. Mom's seen pictures of you with guns. You have tattoos. Picture of you at a casino. And let's see. Yeah, so you're not really talking to CPS. All right, Maria. Well, I'm convinced that if I was to release you, you're just going to run away again. And so I think you're just a danger to yourself if I was to release you. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you here. Have we started any kind of, well, so let me ask this. Ms. Hunt, are we, have we done psychological yet?
Yes, we've already done a psychological. Yes, we're going to look for placement, resource staffing, a longer placement because Nexus was going to take her and then they ended up closing. Actually, she didn't go back for the assessment and then they closed.
Sure.
So we probably need a little longer.
So yeah, I think the placement search is good. All right, so Maria, this is what I'm going to let you know. You kind of put yourself in a situation where you keep on making these mistakes. You keep on breaking your promises to us, all right? You think you're just going to do what you're going to do, and that's not the way it works. And now that you're in the juvenile justice system, it's not like CPS where at 18 you're out, or in the free world where if you're 17 you can get a court to emancipate you. Now you're actually in the grasp of juvenile justice until your 19th birthday, right? So here's the thing. If you just follow, yeah, we can hold you up until your 19th birthday. So, so here's the thing, right? You can either decide to just follow the rules and participate and engage, and we cut you loose as soon as, even if, let's put it this way, even if you fool us, right? Like you do all the right things, convince us that you've turned and you're going to do the right thing and you're going to make good decisions, then you're done. We're done. Like we'll cut you loose and you'll be free to live your own life. But if you fight it and do it the way that you want to do it and don't care about the rules of what people tell you, then we just hold on to you, right? So it's your decision on how long you want to have this relationship with me. And trust me, I don't like seeing you here. I'd rather you just live a calm, peaceful life. You don't like being here, but this is a decision that you need to make. I can't make it for you. All right. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and detain you, and I'm going to keep you detained. My advice to you is if you cause problems and your behavior level drops, is that it makes it harder to find placement for you, and makes any kind of placement that we find will be more and more restrictive, including lockdown facilities, which you don't want and I don't want. All right. So just kind of give you that advice, Maria. Please, please, please be forthcoming and try and participate and show me that I don't need to supervise you anymore. Thank you.
Where's my mom? Because I don't see her over here.
She's there.
What does it matter? How does that change anything that I've said to you?
Okay, sir. Am I excused now?
No, your attitude sucks. I just told you, fool me, trick me.
No, I'm sorry.
Right? But trick me. Like,
I just wanted to know if my mom was up here and I listened to what you were saying.
and that part I get, but when you say, am I excused now, sir, right? That was really snarky. My point is if you participate and project and fool us to think that you've changed, then you're done with this, right? I'm actually telling you is project a different image so we're not worried about you. But if you are defiant, you project this image that you're not going to participate, you're not going to be part of the program, then it just makes us pay more attention to you. Here's the problem, Maria, right? Is the next time you and I meet, I'm going to remember this snarkiness. And nothing changed. It only made it worse, right? You don't have to make things worse. You can actually make things better, at least keep it the same, right? The number one rule, if you dug yourself into a hole, is stop digging. Just stop digging, right? Stay low on the radar. Okay?
I'm a little one every time I come in here, so I'm not really sure what you're talking about, but okay.
Well, right now, when you say, am I excused now, sir? And then right now, when you just said, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay, right? Again, that's not the kind of thing that makes...
You said okay. When I asked where my mom was, you said a rude question to me, so okay, I'm not trying to be rude. It's okay. You're right. Sorry.
Right. So there's a certain point where you don't have to have the last word, right? If you don't want to draw attention to yourself, you just stay quiet, keep to yourself, don't fight the system. That's how you stay low on the radar. But the more you engage, the more you stand up for yourself, the more you're antagonistic, the more attention you draw to yourself and the harder it's going to be for you, right? And this goes not just as a juvenile, but this is throughout life, right? It's always going to be like this, okay? So I want to see you do well. I want to see you out from under this. This is just misdemeanor cases, right? I'm worried about you, but there's only certain reasons why I can hold you. Fool us, right? Get to level 1L, hold it. Best way I think you're going to hold it is just avoid confrontation. All right. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. All right, so Elijah Cardenas. All right, Mr. Cardenas, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a child's brought to a facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days and have to decide whether to keep you here to release you. By keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Sierra, you recognize him as your attorney. Mr. Sierra, can you say hello so he sees your screen?
Hey, Elijah.
All right. You should see Mr. Sierra now. All right. So, Elijah, you're 16 years old. I know your name as soon as I saw it this morning. And why are you here again?
From assault charges.
Yeah, so brought in for assault and violence by Fort Worth PD. They're saying yesterday about midnight, they came to a domestic, talked to your dad, who said he went upstairs to see what the noise was. You opened the door and said it was none of his business and to stay out of it. And Elijah further escalated things by asking his dad what he was going to do about it and getting in his face. Dad tried to remove himself by walking downstairs. Elijah followed him, started throwing punches, hitting his father in the eye, causing pain and swelling. So he was transported here. All right. And then you're positive for weed. So his does dad speak English?
Yes.
Yes, John.
Okay, Dad. So I have some questions for you, Dad. Does Elijah pay the rent or the mortgage at your home?
No.
Okay. Does he pay the electric bill?
No.
Water bill?
No.
Garbage?
No.
Does he pay for gas in the car?
No.
Does he pay for the internet?
No.
Does he buy his own clothes?
No.
Does he cook? Like help around the house?
He cooks, yes.
He cooks like regularly? He cooks meals for the family?
No, not for the family.
Oh, for himself, of course. How about cleaning? Does he clean the bathrooms for everyone?
Yes.
Mow the lawn?
Yes.
Okay. So, but he actually contributes nothing money-wise to the household. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
He doesn't pay insurance on anything, does he?
No.
So, in fact, Elijah, this is what you have to understand. You're 16 years old. You're a minor, right? You couldn't even get an apartment if you wanted because you can't even sign a contract, right? So I want to let you know I'm the juvenile judge, but I also do CPS cases. I will let you know my personal philosophy. What the law requires of your parents is to have a roof over your head, a set of clothes, and 2,000 calories a day, okay? That is the minimum. If they provide at least that much, that is not abuse or neglect. The fact that you get more than 2,000 calories a day, and when I say 2,000 calories a day, I'm talking about it could be dry bread and bologna, 3 meals a day until it gets to 2,000 calories. Anything extra on top of that, that is a gift from your parents. The fact that you have more than one set of clothes, the fact that you have a bed, you have air conditioning, you have a blanket, you have TV, anything in the house, that's all extra. And you did nothing to provide that, right? So when you say, what right does he have? What's he gonna do about it? Your dad can literally make you sleep on the living room floor every night in the bathtub. He can take the door off your room. Okay, I'm just wondering what's so important that you want to interrupt me. Go ahead.
He doesn't provide none of that.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
Okay, so you don't have a door on your bedroom?
Yeah, but he don't pay for nothing in the house. My grandparents do it. That's their house.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I think it's a good idea then, since you don't have a comfortable place to live in, we're going to go ahead and keep you here. All right. And so this way you have a door in your room, you have clothes on your back, and you have food that's being provided to you by the citizens of Tarrant County and the state of Texas. Thank you, Mr. Cardenas.
Have you excused, Judge?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Sierra. Boy, I was ready to release him on a family violence case too. What's that, Ms. McGonigal? There's no situation in life that's so bad that you can't make it worse.
That is so true, Your Honor. That is.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. This concludes my portion for today. Judge Porter is going to take over. Thank you very much, Judge Porter.
Thank you, Judge Kim. All right. Isaiah Nehemiah Frazier. Are you Mr. Frazier?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frazier, the law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and Ms. Tillman, your attorney, is here. Do you see Ms. Tillman on the screen?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court previously determined that probable cause exists to believe that you engaged in delinquent conduct. You have been level 1-0 since the 4th. However, you're already on probation, and 3 days at level 1-0 is not enough to convince me that if I were to release you, you would not be a danger to yourself or others. So for that reason, I'm going to order that you be detained. You need to maintain level 1-0 for longer than just 3 days before I'll be convinced. All right. Thank you, sir. Brian Hemphill.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
In the spirit of full disclosure with the court, he has a new referral.
All right.
I just don't want you to think I'm hiding something from you.
No, ma'am. I understand.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tillman.
All right.
All right. You're Mr. Hemphill, right?
Good.
What was that?
You said how am I?
You're Brian Hemphill, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Hemphill, we've met before. My name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to an attorney, And Mr. Berger, your attorney is here. You also have the right to remain silent. You got to level 1O today. However, your history of referrals to this court is longer than my arm. And on that basis, based on your history and you only being level 1O as of today, I'm convinced that if I were to release you, you'd be a danger to yourself or others. And so for that reason, I'm going to order that you be detained. You need to maintain level 1O for longer than just a day before I'll be convinced that it's appropriate to release you, okay?
Yes, sir.
That'll be the order of the court.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Berger.
Welcome, Judge.
All right. Pedro Garcia Nowlin. Mr. Marquez, does he pronounce it Nowlin? Is that correct?
It's Nolan.
Nolan, thank you. All right, Mr. Nolan, how are you today? Not good?
No. George.
All right.
George.
My name's Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine if you should remain in detention or be released to a parent or guardian. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and Ms. McGonigal, your attorney, is here. Now, without going into the facts of anything else, what's going on today that things are bad for you?
George told me to tell you, like he said about my level 1-3. So he told me to tell you about how I'm struggling with my papa because he passed away recently, and how my grandma has cancer. So he told me to tell you so I could get that off my chest, so I could just let you know why I'm struggling the way I'm struggling, because I'm still struggling about every person that came into my life and they just lived, like how my dad just lived too, and I'm still grieving off that too. And how my stepdad lived, and how my papa just died, and how my grandma won't die too because she has cancer. But that's the only reason why I want to go home today, so I can see her and hug her.
Well, you're level 3 confined.
I know that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm hoping, if you can help me so I can go see my grandma.
No, sir. No, sir. When you're level 3 confined, what does that tell me?
I'm a 3C.
Yeah, and what does that tell me about your behavior in the back?
I haven't been doing good, but this past couple of days they said I've been doing good though. They said the staff the staff could vouch for me, because even Miss Sarah said the supervisors already said I've been doing good. They said it's up to the judge though, so I could be a 1-0.
But if you're not behaving in the back, have you earned the right to go home?
Yes, because I have behaved.
No, sir, you have not. No, sir. Kids who are level 3 confined in the back have not earned the right to go home. What do you have to do to earn the right to go home?
Be a 1-0.
Yes, sir. All right. So you need to get to level 1-0. If you want to go see your grandma, you've got to get to level 1-0 before the court will be convinced that you're not going to be a danger and misbehave at home too, okay?
So if I'm 1-0, I can go home?
No, sir. You've got to be level 1-0 before I can consider whether you've earned the right to go home, all right? There are more factors than just that, but that's your part in this equation, okay? And you've got to do that first, all right? All right. Now, with respect to all the grief you've got, hey, are you talking to anybody in the back?
No, sir.
Why don't you try and call Mr. Marquez? He's a good guy and he can listen to you. Will you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Talk to Mr. Marquez. Tell him what's going on. Tell him what you're feeling, because he can help.
I already told Mr. Machaka, and I spoke to Miss Diane, and I told her everything that happened to me my whole life. Started from age of 5 to age 17.
We'll talk to him again, because sometimes it takes several times, okay? All right. Thank you, Mr. Nolan.
I love you, Mama.
Nicholas Adam Silva. Thank you, Ms. McGonigal.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't see Ms. Hambrick on, and Mary.
I do not either. Do you mind?
Yeah, Mary asked me to be the attorney of the day.
I thank you for that.
Thank you, Judge.
It sounds like Mr. Nolan is still struggling in the back.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you Mr. Silva?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Silva, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney. And Ms. Hamrick can't be here today, so I've appointed Ms. McGonigal to be your attorney for purposes of this hearing. Do you see Kathleen on the screen?
Hi.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Silva, did Judge Kim talk to you about the levels in the back?
Yes, sir.
1-0 and 2-0 and 3-0?
Yes, sir.
What did he tell you?
That they I think to be a 1-0, that 1-0 are the best levels of one outstanding.
Uh-huh. And what are you at?
I think a 2-0 right now.
Yeah. So what do I need to do?
Detain.
Yeah. Plus, you've got a lot of serious charges. Are you talking to your Ms. Hamrick about what you need to be doing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got any? Is that your mom in the parents' room?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to say to your mom before you have to go back to detention?
I love you, Ma, and I'll call you.
Okay, love you too, then.
All right. Thank you, everybody. That concludes our hearings.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.